welcome back to Stronger Than PCOS, where we overcome our PCOS one positive thought at a time. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Hannah, and this channel is all about sharing natural ways to overcome PCOS, along with just supporting each other in our PCOS journeys. I'd love for you to join the family and hit that red subscribe button. And if you find this video interesting or useful, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. So today's video is number 3 in our PCOS secret series, which is all about my TTC journey for baby number 2. If you haven't seen the prior videos, which will have some information that make this video make sense, I will link those down below or somewhere up above. So anyways, I had a few things pop up the past week and definitely need to share them with you. I want to be sure to be getting every aspect of this journey, so when it's all said and done, I have something to look back on and you have something to look back on and know exactly what I did and what hiccups I ran into along the way and how I overcame them. So last week, May 3rd, I went to the doctor just for like a well woman visit. I haven't been since I was pregnant, and I did the same thing before I started trying to conceive for my son, just to get everything checked out and, talk to the doctor and just get it all taken care of. So when I went into the doctor, I told her my story because I am in a new state. So this isn't my regular doctor I've had for a long time. So I was sure to tell her every part of my story, so she knew exactly where I was coming from, what my body's history was, where we are at now, and what our plans were. And she, thought that was fine, went ahead with the exam, and I shared, some of my symptoms I've been having since having my son, and she came to the conclusion that I could possibly have low estrogen. I'm gonna just tell you what I've been experiencing and maybe say a few other symptoms that could possibly someone else could be going through that I'm not. So for me, the symptoms I've been going through is low libido, little to no sex drive at all since having my son, little to no cervical mucus going on, stressed easily, anxiety. I've also been getting tired easier than I would have before my son, and even another symptom, sadly, is painful intercourse. So all of these symptoms I relayed to me breastfeeding, waking up multiple times a night, and having a child, and just the adjustment of life from living. Your life just completely changes with a child, at least for me it did. And I felt all these symptoms were kind of the result of all those changes with my body, as far as breastfeeding, with my mind, as far as taking care of a child, just all of that. That's where I felt these symptoms were resulting. So I never really thought anything of them. I was just like, well, this is normal. Like, I'm getting up multiple times a night. Of course I'm going to get tired and have anxiety easier because I'm not getting the proper sleep that I did before. And of course, sex is going to be painful. I pushed out a child, and I don't have a lot of cervical mucus because I'm breastfeeding, and I don't have sex drive because I'm breastfeeding, because breastfeeding happens to prohibit the creation of estrogen and progesterone. It kind of keeps it down to where it tells your body, hey, we have a baby right now, no need to produce another. However, these symptoms are normal and part of being a new mom and having those breastfeeding hormones, having those after birth hormones, but typically go away by about a year for normal women. So that is what my doctor shared with me, and that was like a wake-up call for me, because it's like, holy moly, my son is 2 and I'm still experiencing this, and lack of a period is a symptom, but if you all have watched the other videos, you'd know that. And lack of ovulation. You need ovulation to have a period anyway, so you get it. But so that is what I told her, like what was going on, and so she just was like, okay, that can be normal, but typically around a year is when women get their period back and everything starts to kind of go back to where it was before, or as much as possible before the child. Then we went in for my exam, you know, the pelvic exam, and she said that everything down there is pretty thinned out, which is another symptom of low estrogen. And that is why it was, you know, painful having sex, that and not having lots of cervical mucus. Like, that is all just playing hand in hand. However, she couldn't say for certain because there wasn't any, you know, this was just all going off based off symptoms. So what is the game plan from here? Well, we talked, and of course immediately I was like, full panel blood test, boom. Like, take my own advice here, learn from my past, just do the blood test. Let's not do a guessing game. So she's ordering those. I will keep you all posted on that. Also, just knowing my history, she said from going from having imbalanced hormones and pretty severe PCOS to healing it, to having that hormone shift, to getting pregnant not long after I overcame my PCOS, which was another hormone shift, to breastfeeding, and then to just continuously breastfeed, and was just a lot for my body, especially being susceptible to hormone imbalances to begin with. Also, I am going to start eating even more. I eat so much right now, but you all know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I only eat plants, and plants alone are pretty low in calories. Even though I eat a lot and I'm sustaining my weight, she's thinking I'm probably gonna actually have to gain weight and get a little more plump for my body to say, okay, it's okay for me to have a child. And I should have known this, because I even in my past videos and even in my journey conceiving my son, I had to do the same thing. I had to gain weight that I kind of had to force it on. That is part of the plan. Eat more calories, eat more fats. I just naturally, you already know if you've seen my other videos, gravitate towards whole food plants that are lots of carbs. And I do include fats in there, but I'm going to start really concentrating on making sure I'm getting all those fats in there every single day. And to make sure I'm getting all the foods that I need and that I want, I have made a list of fertility foods and daily foods I want to be sure to be including in my everyday life. And since I've done this, it's helped me so much, because I just check off to make sure that I have been eating a good, more than enough food and more than enough fats to signal to my body, hey, it's okay, you have enough calories and fat to still breastfeed this child and grow a new child. I'm a little bit mad at myself for just being so naive and not taking my advice from the beginning, or what I had to do in the beginning of my journey to conceive my son and regain my fertility. But that's okay, that's in the past. All I can do is the best I can do. Here is the list. I just have it on a dry erase board, and then I just go through and I check off the ones, and I have to have them all checked off by the end of the night. Life is life. If I don't freak out. But that's just the goal of each day. So if you all are interested in me actually going through this list and talking about why I have the foods on here that I do, let me know down below. I will be continuing the supplements I already mentioned in my previous video. So those, you know, I still feel comfortable taking those. I haven't had any headaches or migraines since taking those. And everything I read about them, they're great for balancing hormones in general and helping with healthy estrogen production. I'm going to be making sure that I'm getting enough rest, and if that means having to nap with my son or just take it easy for the day, for the nights that he wakes a couple times, then so be it. That's just what I have to do. I feel like the past 2 years I've kind of lost control, stress levels and my anxiety, because once I healed my PCOS and I had everything in line, that was like so much zen in my life. I was just so balanced. And since having my son and feeling certain anxiety, I've kind of let it slide. Like, well, this is normal. This is normal having a child and feeling kind of this, and my hormones, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm not gonna give myself excuses, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm implementing a really solid stress management and really taking time for myself. I already do take care of myself as far as health goes, which with healthy eating and keeping myself hydrated. But as far as my mental health is gone, I'm gonna be the first one to admit to say that's been put on the back burner since having a child. My me time is hardly there at all, especially with not living by family to have help and having it just be me and my son and my husband, of course, but he works a lot lately, and with us being out of state and not knowing many people, I just never get time to myself, never get time to really do exactly what I want to do and be able to relieve that stress. So that's going to be a big part of this plan, is finding the time, taking the time out to relieve that stress and rewire my brain to stay positive like it was before having a child. I'm also going to be, again, I've said this in my other video, but limiting the amount of times my son nurses because he's a big nurser, and now we have it down to just 3 times a day, which I know some people are like, he's 2, blah, blah, blah. Just 3 times a day is good for us. That leads me to the last part of my plan, which is listening to affirmations, saying my positive affirmations, listening to subliminals. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm super big into these, and they change. Even if I just listen to them like I have and say them one day, I feel so much better that day. But again, becoming a parent and moving and blah, 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 I've just let that go. And I guess I'm just having to come back to who I was before I had my son and really make time to be that person, if that makes sense. So if you want to hear which affirmations and subliminals I will be listening to, again, let me know down below and I will make a video on that in this series. Last, this is still branched off of the subliminals and the affirmations, but last part is visualization. So you know, if you've seen my other videos, how many times am I going to bring up my other videos? Jeez. That I'm big into visualizations as well, visualizing yourself already in the situation you want to be. So instead of constantly being like thinking of the next step in the TTC journey, visualizing myself being pregnant, visualize myself with my pregnant belly, visualize myself seeing that positive pregnancy test. I'm going to be doing all of those things again, watching the positive pregnancy test videos, probably watching my own that I posted, and really thinking about it before I go to bed and any downtime I have, just letting it marinate in my mind. Not getting anxiety over it, but getting excited about it and really seeing it and feeling it. And I've already done it a few times since starting this TTC journey, and it gets me so excited. Like, I'm so excited. Oh, there's a little lizard joining us. Do you have PCOS? You want to join in? You want to join in on talk? How'd you overcome it? What's your top tips? No? Nothing? Too shy? Okay. I just get so excited and I feel so good doing those. So I will definitely be implementing my visualizations again. Pretty much taking all of my fertility, how to conceive videos and implementing them into my life now. So if any of you are doing that, sister, I'm right there with you. I forgot to film it. So I'm just gonna leave information about how to know if you have high estrogen or low estrogen down below, and some can still be tricky. Also with the low estrogen, many times you can actually have gained weight or have migraines along with the symptoms that I listed. So check out down below to see the difference, because typically PCOS women have estrogen dominance, which I did have before having my son, so hormones. So that is it for this video and this update. If you all have any symptoms going on or a game plan for you in your TTC journey, let me know down below. I am big on having plans for things, and even when it comes to conceiving, having a game plan and knowing what to do each day helps so much. Stay tuned to the rest of the series for my daily routines, my supplement routine, how I'm implementing all of those. Oh, and also I meant to say in my game plan, I will be implementing seed cycling too, which I've been doing but haven't been consistent on. I'm just gonna be honest. If any of you don't ovulate or are in the midst of their amenorrhea and wanting to conceive, let me know if you want to join me on seed cycling on this next full moon so we can do it together. All right, ladies, thank you so much. As always, I love you all. Peace.